Hello and welcome to this episode of Open Source RV, where we're going to go over 3 essential things you need to go boondocking. Now we've been boondocking for 190 days, so we've learned quite a bit, and I'm going to go over 3 essential things you got to have. The very first thing you're going to need to go boondocking is water. Without water, you'll get very thirsty, and that's never good. You need to keep your water up, so make sure you bring an adequate supply of fresh water. So the second thing you're going to need while you're boondocking is food. Food is absolutely essential. You need to make sure you have an adequate supply of food. You'll get very hungry and cranky without it. So make sure you at least bring some food when you go boondocking. Okay, and we're going to go over the very third and one of the most important things you're going to need while you're boondocking. That is some form of shelter. Whether you've got a big old RV like this or just a teeny little tent, you're going to need some form of shelter, otherwise the elements will make you very unhappy. So boondocking's a lot of fun. We've been boondocking for over 190 days, believe it or not, and we've learned a lot during this time. Every person is different. What your needs is going to depend on the size of your group and what you're used to having, but I'm just going to tell you, the most important thing is adequate planning. You're going to need to plan to have the appropriate amount of water, food, shelter. You're also going to want to make sure that you plan based on the weather. The weather can really control everything. So really bad weather will equal a very bad experience. So I do a lot of planning. I check the weather. We only move when it's not windy because of the high profile of this vehicle. If it's windy, I don't drive the RV. I plan on just staying in one location just because of the wind. So like I was saying, research is very important for your boondocking. You're going to want to research the weather, but you're going to also want to research the area. There's different rules in different places. If you're in a national forest, there's one set of rules. If you're on BLM, there's a more lax set of rules. If you're in a national park, there's even stricter rules. So you're going to need to research the weather and the rules of where you're at. It's very important, and it's something you should not overlook. So I'm going to go over a couple extra things that we take with us. They're not essential by any means, but just stuff that we bring. So I always have an axe with me. I have not used it everywhere, only at maybe 10% of the locations, but it's been very convenient to have to chop some firewood. There's actually firewood already pre-chopped all here, so we got really lucky. The axe has been very convenient. Another thing that you should almost definitely have if you have a big RV like this is a shovel. It can be very helpful if you ever get stuck. You can actually dig your RV or your vehicle out. If you need to make like a little patch to sit next to the fire, this has been very convenient for that, and the shovel has been worth bringing. So there's just one final thing I don't want to skip. It's very important that you leave no trace if possible, or as little trace as possible. There's too much litter going on across our country, so you're going to want to make sure you have a system for containing your waste and taking it to the appropriate facility to dispose of it later. Whether it be gray water, your black water, or your dry trash, you need to have some sort of system for packing it all out. It's very important, and please don't skip that step. And another thing that we bring with us and has worked out really well is this little fire starter and propane bottle. We've had it the whole time for 190 days, started dozens and dozens of fire, and it's nowhere near empty. It's very little cost, and I feel it's going to last the entire year for starting fires. And not only does it work really well for starting the fires, it does it really fast. You don't sit around and wait for it. You just flip this thing on and it starts the fire right up. It doesn't take long. You just hit that fire. She'll be going in just a minute. No waiting. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to encourage you to subscribe. We've got dozens of videos filmed all across the United States at tons of amazing locations, and we've done some really cool activities. So check them out. I know you're going to enjoy them, and you have a wonderful day.